Hey boys, welcome back to the last NRL team we're going to be having a look at, and that's the West Tigers. And obviously if you saw last video with the Warriors, very strange, like so many players weren't actually done, which I still haven't even checked out why that was, but yeah, bit unfortunate. Hopefully the Tigers aren't like that. We start off with Rugby though. Highest rated player for them. And not a bad likeness. You know, the one area they've obviously screwed up is the nose. Like, Farah, he's got a massive nose, but they haven't really got that down. You know, if you just make his nose fucking massive, then that's perfect Rugby Farah. James Tedesco next. Whoops. Oh, there we go. Not the best. It's not that good, honestly. I mean, just the beard doesn't even look like him. I mean, the only two Tedescos I've seen is like a clean shaven or a massive beard Tedesco. So it doesn't really look like him, honestly. Then we got Aaron Woods. And that's actually, yeah, that's really good actually. I know before the update happened, the likeness they had for Woods was pretty good in my opinion, but it was pretty much only the hair that looked like him. They've done a lot of work on Woods, and it actually, yeah, it's pretty spot on. Man Tapau. Not good. But it's all good because, again, I was on the forums and someone had made an awesome Tapau, like absolutely outstanding. Some of the likenesses people are able to create on here are just out of this world. You know. And at this, like, I'm not gonna get up the devs too much because they've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players to do likenesses for, whereas a person can just focus on a few. Obviously, you got some people like Nezo who does a heap, but they still don't have a number of players to do like the devs. So don't be too harsh on the devs for likenesses not being that great, because, you know, they've got other work to do. I'd rather the game be outstanding, the gameplay. But Luke Brooks, it's pretty good. I think it's decent. Chris Lawrence then. Yeah, okay. Probably about average, honestly. Paddy Richards. That one's pretty good. But the only problem is I've seen someone make an outstanding Pat Richards on the forums. So this one sort of pales in comparison, but still, it's still probably one of the better Tigers ones done. Then we got Big Keith Galloway, and this one's actually really good. This one, yeah, I'd say this one's the best Tigers player done so far. Really good. Kevin Nguama. Kevin Nguama's been playing awesome in the centres lately. You know, he sort of seemed like just a specialist winger, but he seemed like he's even better in the centres, which is awesome. He's a good player to watch. Likeness is okay. I think it's pretty good. Overall, yeah, I'm happy with that. Probably above average. Tim Simona. Absolutely love Tim Simona. He is an awesome player. Love what, you know, again, I'm not a massive fan of the Tigers, but I like their team a lot. They got some really, really exciting outside backs, and forwards, not too bad either. But Tim Simona, I really like Simona. I remember watching him in the Queensland Cup thinking, how's this kid not got a NRL contract yet? And then like next year, he was tearing it up for the Tigers. Curtis Sirinen. That one's actually really good as well. So a couple of these Tigers ones are actually really well done. Sawaso Su. He's probably been like the unsung hero for the Tigers, in my opinion. I think he's been probably their most consistent forward, along with Tapau. He's just been outstanding. He's provided so much go forward for them. I think the likeness is pretty good too. David Nofaluma. One of these outside backs that I love to watch. He's one of those big guys who just gets in there, does the hard runs. He's just a beast. Love watching him play. Not a great likeness. Keith Lulia. He used to play for Knights, didn't he? He hasn't really had much opportunity at the Tigers. You know, the Tigers definitely have plenty of backs, and Lulia's not really as good as the other ones, really. Then Jack Buchanan. I haven't seen Buchanan in a while, but I don't think that really looks like him too much, if I'm mistaken. Joel Luani. Haven't actually seen him, so can't comment. Timmy Moulton. Poor old Tim Moulton, man. He was like sort of the #1 fullback for Tigers. Then just injury after injury. And now he'll probably struggle to, even if he's fit, probably to get back in the team. Because they've got Tedesco and obviously their halves are pretty well sorted. So that's a bit unfortunate for Moulton, I always liked him as a player. Oh, that's who. I was wondering if we'd already seen Mitchell Moses. I was like, where's Moses? But yeah, he's rated pretty lowly, 78. And honestly, some people might disagree, but I don't think Moses has been that impressive. He gets a lot of raps, and a lot of talk up about him. I definitely think Brooks is a better player than Moses. Maybe Moses is playing out of position. They always say that Moses is a halfback, so maybe that's it. But he definitely hasn't impressed me that much. But yeah, obviously he's still a kid. So he could be a really good player. Not taking anything away from that, but I think he's been maybe a bit overrated. Shannon McDonald. That's an old name as well. I didn't know he still played for Tigers. Jeez, I remember him playing years and years ago. Shannon McDonald. He was like an absolute speedster. I don't know where he's been. Has he been at the Tigers the whole time? I think he has. I still remember. I'm sure I still remember him like playing for the Tigers years and years ago. Is he like a really, really small fullback or winger? Like I feel like that was like the time when Brett Hodgson was around still, and McDonald came in on the wing. Dean Hallertau, way too low. Dean Hallertau is an absolute. He is an awesome player. Dean Hallertau. He is so underrated. Like he's one of those guys that can play every position, and that's probably a detriment to him because he's sort of just mixed around. He's not really found his one position, but he's so good at so many. But yeah, way too low. He's an awesome. I really like Dean Hallertau. Any else we want to have a look at? Kyle Lovett. That's pretty much it. So yeah, that's the last NRL team done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this series. Any Super League fans? I'm not too sure if I'm going to do Super League ones because I've heard that the Super League likenesses are pretty bad. And it's probably just going to make people mad. So, I don't know. If I get a lot of people asking about Super League, I might do it. But we'll see. We'll see. What people have said, like the likenesses and ratings are pretty bad. So, I don't know if I want to do it. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And I'll see you in the next one.